1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Hey.
Let me just look cool. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Diaries For Discussion. It's your host, Jermaine.
It's your boy, Tuas.
And today we've got a special guest in the building.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
Little Siren.
You deserve one of those.
Tobi O. Now we've had you on the show before.
Yes.
Obviously, weren't discussing your music. It was like joining us on a play-along game.
Yeah, banter.
But today, you're making history, my friend.
Yes.
You're our first guest in the actual studio setup.
I feel so privileged. I feel so honoured. Thank you guys for having me on board.
That's all right. Love to have you here.
Yeah, man.
How was your journey here, by the way? I know you got training. You're not familiar with leaving. This guy, anytime I tell him to come to Essex, if it's outside the zones 1 to 6, it's a problem.
It is. Do you know what? I've lived in Essex before, which you both know, right?
Yeah.
And when my friends from London would complain, like, "Oh, coming to Essex is long," I was just
Now
like,
you can relate.
Now I can relate. Like,
It's not that deep.
it's
Any
such a
journey that's longer than half an hour, that's it. You're like, it's a problem. But
Yeah, but
I guess you get used to that.
Come on now, wait. We did treat him to a juice and
it
I
was-
had some orange juice.
some
It was
some
worth it.
water.
It was worth it. There
you
you
know,
go.
down the seaside.
Exactly.
Give
A
him
little
some
walk.
scenery.
I saw some cows on the way, some sheep
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, exactly.
Well, question: would you move back to the countryside?
Hell no.
No?
No.
City boy now.
Maybe, like I said before,
Yeah.
when I'm ready to go meet the Lord, I'll come here as my resting place.
The
That's
Lord,
what-
you
a
know.
lot of people say this is God's waiting room, so especially in my area.
Wow.
That's nice. Now look, before we dive straight into the intricacies of the music and like your career so far, let's go back and talk about like your past leading up to now. What got you into music? Where did it start? Have you always had a passion for music?
Yeah, before you do that, let's just shout out. Tobi, guys, is a musician, if you don't know yet.
Okay.
Tobi is a great musician. I've just heard a song that I'm going to let you guys hear a little bit
sneak
later on.
preview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exclusive.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? Bedroom baby making music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of babies born because of you.
Listen, when I drop this project, I'm telling you, kids, there'll be a new generation of
Yeah.
Tobi O children.
Well,
Okay.
I've already cut my
Look at
balls
this.
off, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Well done. Don't know about that. So yeah, how did you find or discover your passion for music? Like, where did it start?
Yeah, so like I was born here, grew up in Nigeria. So I went there when I was really, really young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I lived with my grandma, and she would always. We had a piano in our house, and she'd sing in the choir, sing in the church, etc. So I kind of grew up around music, and then when I came back to the UK, my mum always played like old school stuff, you know, like
Okay.
80s, 70s music, and then my auntie too, big, like the whole family, like just big on music.
Yeah.
So I literally grew up around it. And then I just found that I had a niche for like, I just enjoyed music, like singing. And then as I grew up, I realized that, I can actually kind of sing. And then my auntie kind of confirmed it for me. And then I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to like.
Was you ever in like a church choir and stuff like that?
Do you know, funny enough, although I've got a very church sounding voice, right? I never grew up in a church choir. But it's only in the last, like, let's say, 2-3 years time that I actually joined a church choir, and I was kind of leading a bit. But growing up, which I think some people might find surprising because I have such a soulful gospel sounding voice.
Yeah.
But I do listen to gospel music, so I always in my room. I may not be in the choir, but I always like have my little choir in my own room.
Okay.
You know,
Shower vibes.
something
Everyone
shower
sings in the
vibes,
shower.
Yeah,
I lead
definitely.
worship in the shower. you
Yeah, I
know.
listen to Kanye too. I know he does gospel music now. So, but yeah, that's sick, man. That's
Okay,
sick.
heavy, strong influence. Do you feel like anyone can sing, like learn to sing, or do you feel like you either got it or you've not? I mean, I think I can sing a little bit, but
Yeah,
you know,
I knew where this was going.
but I don't know if I can learn or.
I don't know. Like, I think, I feel like it's like you have to be born with a voice. I can't lie. I feel like you could train to be semi decent and hold a note.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
No shade, no shade.
But I feel like either you have it or you don't. Somebody like Whitney Houston, you know, she was born.
Effortless.
That was
it's
her
so
job
natural.
on earth. Like,
Yeah.
and then others who can try to sing but they can't really sing.
He's looking at someone over here. That ain't
There's
me.
a lot
bro.
of shade right now.
You know, you can have vocal lessons and maybe you can hold that A for longer than usual and it'll sound slightly on key. But you know, I feel like you have to be born with the talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what sort of training do you do, like for warming your voice up? Because I know a lot of singers, all the friends that I've got that sing, they do like certain vocal trainings and stuff.
Yeah, so
prior to-
like, I mean, what I do is that I like to warm up in the shower because when you're in the shower, the heat makes your vocal cords a bit more warm, which is always good. So, which is why they say to steam your voice before you sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like do like warm ups in the shower, like oohs and ahs and sirens and twanging. There's something called twanging, which singers do. Do you know what twanging is?
Yeah. Of course, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't
Do you
know.
know what twang
Tell
is?
me what it- what is it? What is it?
So
Tooz?
basically, it's like when you add the A's and the B's, and then the twang comes out in it. like equal.
That was like Urban Dictionary definition.
Come on,
that is not twanging.
Skitty cut. You know what I mean? Like, sorry,
hop on the couch.
come on. Try to touch each other right now.
No, let me explain. So twanging is basically like twanging is what people like Stevie Wonder do. It helps you, and Michael Jackson twangs a lot too. It helps you hit higher notes.
Okay.
So it's like you're making a siren sound, but it's all kind of from up here. So you're going. I'll give an example. So you're going. Let me put this back a bit. So you're going nee. So you're. Essentially you're pushing the bridge of your nose up, so that when you hit the higher notes.
Right.
So when you warm up, you just go knee up and down into your highest and lowest, so that when you hit the higher notes, you can actually hit the.
Right.
It goes kind of over the bridge of your nose.
Is it always knee or is it like O or an
It could
A?
be a siren. So it's usually a siren sound. So just think of a sound like nee.
Right. Cool.
Okay.
That's
so,
sick.
yeah, what sort of genre would you say your style of music is? Because I find it hard to pinpoint. Like it's old soul, but it's also current, trendy, sort of. I don't know.
Do you know, whenever I get asked this question about my genre, it literally like stresses me because I'm like,
it's its own lane, isn't it? Like
this is the thing. Like I feel like my sound is very unique, but then with my new project though, it definitely is like soul and R&B. So I think my voice is a soulful voice. Like I'm a soul singer.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
100%. So whether I do funk or like more up tempo or R&B stuff, it's still soul to me.
Yeah.
So
right. So would you ever compare? Like, let's say if you could compare your voice to someone right now, or someone, or even someone that's dead.
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon you can find a comparison in terms of like, I don't know.
Well, the one that I always get, the obvious one is Luther Vandross. I get that. I've had that since I was a
Really?
kid. Since I was a kid, everyone.
It's them high notes.
Yeah, like everyone always says, "Oh my gosh, like Luther Vandross." So that's that. But then in terms of like now, like I don't think that, like there are artists who do similar music to me. Like Daniel Caesar, for example. Right now, like my peers would be like Daniel Caesar, let's say Frank Ocean, Lucky Day. Those type of people would be.
I like Lucky Day.
Yeah. Those are my peers musically. But I don't think they sound like me. No, I sound like them. Yeah.
So obviously going back, when you obviously discovered you got an amazing voice. Yeah, I'll give you that. Even though you're throwing shade at me. How did you transition from like just singing out and about to actually taking it seriously and actually pursuing like a career in music?
I mean, for me, it's like music is the only option. Like I'm not good with jobs. Like I hate working for people.
9 to 5 is not the one.
It's not like, the one. I'm telling you, like jobs is not the thing for me. So for me, even till now, like it's very black and white. It's either music or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, is that real?
That is a good way to look at it though, because you're sharpening your tools.
For real. Like, so that's why I'm happy to invest. So from a kid, I've always known that I wanted to get into music.
Yeah.
But when I took it seriously was like maybe like about 4 years ago when I released my first song, Teardrop.
Yeah. Okay, shout out Teardrop.
Teardrop. So like, I linked up with Keenan Bailey from Abstract Sun Studios.
Dropping names, you know. Yeah.
So I worked with Keenan and Stephen Lewis and also Femi Santiago. He was on The Voice. He made it to I think the finals. He looks like Obama, like, but but they produced this song, gave it to me, and then you know, when I heard how good the song came out, I was like, wow, I really like. It's so weird when you go from singing to actually hearing yourself on a record, and you're like, oh wow, like this it's here, you know. So when I had that, I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go for it now. And then I learned to produce as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, because you produce as well. You singer, songwriter, producer. So you started off just singing other people's lyrics, or you created your own?
So it was my own lyrics, but on other people's beats. Yeah. Okay. And then so I did that with Teardrops, Sunshine Susie. You know that one. You know, like all of those, my early stuff. And then when I stepped into the era of my EP and prior, like I produced Imagination and all those other songs, and then my whole EP. And now on my new project that's coming out, I've produced the entire thing so I did everything on loops. So do you know? I produced the entire thing on loops, my EP. But then now with this, I learned how to like kind of play the keyboard. I'm not like a keyboard player, but just so that it sounds a bit more authentic.
You can put your own touch in it that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than trying to manipulate loops. You know? Although it's harder, but like this just feels better as an artist. Like I could say like everything you hear, I played. You know, like myself. So it's been a journey, man. It's been a
sounds it, man. So in terms of like your end goal, like obviously people wants to be signed. Some people are now independent. More people are leaning more to independency now. Would you want to be like signed with a label or?
I don't know if I want to be signed, like, because I feel like music has evolved so much and it's so easy to be an artist now. Like it's not like back in the day where you had to like have a
distribution.
Label. Like now everything I've done, it's in my bedroom. Like so it's so easy. I think the only thing I would do with a label is like maybe some kind of like marketing deal or
Yeah.
something, or like a 50-50. I don't know, but I wouldn't do like a full on thing where they throw money at you and say, hey, Toby, here's £2 million and go and do whatever you want. And then I get gas and buy chains and rings. And then my album don't sell.
Ownership.
And then my album don't sell. And then I owe them money and then they own all my masters. And a lot of artists get so, and I say it to everyone, like, if you're an artist, don't get excited by like labels and money and just splash out, because if your album ain't selling, you're gonna have to pay it back. You know, because they literally charge you for everything. Like if they like book you like a limousine from your hotel to the award show, you think, oh Rod, it's such a lovely
that's
label.
on you.
That's on you. Like you're paying for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
I think that's a good thing to actually like touch up on, because a lot of people, like maybe musicians growing up like from that era of like, oh, everyone's getting signed by Sony, by Universal. Like now you see Kanye West going crazy with Universal and Sony, trying to get away from that deal, because you are pretty much, your creative is paying for everyone in that company right now. And then like they're getting paid 600 million, you're getting paid 2. Do you know what I mean? Like you're selling everything for them. But yeah, no, it's mad. But I think independency is the way forward now. I think you like Chance the Rapper, Frank Ocean, they like bundled their shit so it was quick and they were out of the deal. They're like, now I can sign with like Apple for exclusivity rather than like, you know what I mean, just take my shit. But
going off of that though, like obviously you're saying the access is easy now, it's accessible, like anyone's got social media, obviously that's a beneficial tool now. But would you say it was easier back in the day when there was less competition, but it was more, there was gatekeepers, I guess you could say, or now where there's more competition but easy access to sort of put your content out there? It's kind of double-edged sword, isn't it?
I think like with back then, like although you had backing and stuff, like it was easy in the sense of you can really be pushed forward. So like let's say like a label found you, like, oh my God, he's the next big star. They will do everything to get you out there. So it makes your life easier. But you had competition too. And then it was also a bit more like rigid, because like let's say you had one black singer doing a particular genre for you know, like they would want it to be like one black person
that's it.
Like whereas now it's more diverse, you can have 5 people doing the same genre, but then the hard part is like now with so much competition and accessibility to making music, you have, it's more rigorous, so you have to like push yourself and you know, so it's kind of like it's got pros and cons to both.
I mean, if you can sign a year deal and then it just brings you out there, that would be great. Do you know what I mean? It's just a year. Like get
just
me
make
out
sure you
there.
read that small print.
Yeah, definitely.
But the things that like, you see, like nowadays, right? A lot of labels as well, they don't even want artists that they can push. They want people who are like, let's say you've got Instagram following 100K.
That's it. You've
got, like you've done the work for them. Like they don't need to do it. All they need to do is just have you on their books. But then you've got to read the fine print though, because you know what I mean. Which is why I say if you're in that position, you don't really need a label unless they're gonna like, it comes with like they're gonna give you some kind of tour, whatever. Like you know, you have to know the business side of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bit like social media. I'm not a big avid user of social media. I obviously understand the beneficial side of it, but I'm not a big fan of it. But do you feel like with these labels now, they look at people that's already got a following, or you still feel like they'll just do the work? As long as you've got a good voice and you're the talent, that's it. Like,
I think, like if you have following, I think it definitely helps to build your own fan base. I mean, like, I think it's a bit unfair though for some, like let's say like myself or like other up and coming who don't have a huge following right now, but let's say they have sick music that people like, their small fans really like. So it's like they may not necessarily, I'm not saying in all cases, but they may not look at that artist, for example, because of the clout that they have, and then they might get someone else who isn't as talented, or but they have just a bigger following because maybe they make music that's more popular, like drill or something, you know? So that's why like right now I'm really working on, obviously the material has to be solid, and then building my fan base, which I'm building slowly.
we're seeing a progression, like a lot. I
think I have a problem with the phrase talent. Like I think musicians and artists shouldn't be called talent. Like they use that phrase to almost like enslave you into that kind of, you're just a talent, you can't be in a boardroom. Like you're your own creative. Like all of these artists now, they can go in a boardroom, like let's say like, I don't know, Jay-Z, we know that is a big deal. Even Frank Ocean, like Daniel Caesar, fucking Blueface, can go in a boardroom now and talk your ears off. Like nah, Cardi B, like that. Those are the biggest example. But when they call him talent, it's almost like that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can't be in a boardroom with us.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. You can't give me like, you can't talk about your contract. You need a lawyer and stuff like that. But I think nowadays, like everyone is more accountable to their brand. They know what their brand is, and it's like I think brand is more important now. In terms of like back in the day, you don't look at a brand. You're just like, oh, okay, this is me. Do you know what I mean? But now your personality is your brand.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, I think that could be a dangerous thing though, because some people overplay who they are.
Definitely.
Like I'm sure half the celebrities who do the most on Instagram.
That's the real self. Like,
no. I think it's the opposite. Like, I'm sure if you just sat down with Cardi B, she's probably just a chill home girl. You could just be chatting about like how your weekend was, like, you know, or like all these celebrities who do the most. Like, but then sometimes I feel like when you feel like you have to be somebody who you're not just to get attention.
Just to get that attention, because there's so much noise out there now, and you got to be outrageous just to grab that spotlight.
Exactly. Whereas for me, like, that's not my approach. Like, I feel like the people who like my music so far, my friends, my family, they like me because I am me. Like, because if I started doing the most on Instagram, people would know. And I feel like people are smart enough to know when somebody's not being genuine. I would hope so.
At some point, it'll come out.
At some point, Paris Hilton, I was reading the thing.
I see that recently.
I was like, what?
I was like, I don't even know much about her, but I didn't know she was
playing
not
a
that
character.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing a character.
So basically, for you guys who don't know, like Paris Hilton came out and said that she's been playing like a
dumb blonde, basically. That's her words. Yeah,
but she's actually like a very smart-minded business person. Like,
but it was weird though, because she was like, "But I don't want to be known for that anymore." It's hard for people after playing that character for so long to now just be like, "I'm not that person anymore." Like, I'm actually savvy, and for people to just change their mindset towards that. So if you play a character for so long, it is going to stick a little bit. To some degree.
You can say you're smart, but you're still a blonde bimbo if you like. Do you know what I mean? The way you act, like you can be smart in. It is good marketing though. Is it real? We don't know what's real. Could be fake news. She could say like, oh yeah. She could just be like gone to a vocal coach and just like teach me just a little to change my voice a bit. So I'm relevant again. Do you know what I mean? We don't know. Fake news is everywhere.
I mean, what advice would you give? Let's say there's someone in their bedroom right now producing beats.
Bedroom.
People recording from their bedroom.
I'm thinking my head's.
Get out of the car.
Yeah. My bad,
people in their bedroom recording beats, obviously recording their vocals and stuff. They're not getting a reaction they want. And we'll put it this way. Let me say it another way. I've seen people that's got amazing voices, but their marketing of themselves and their own brand is a bit like they're out every weekend drinking, but at the same time they've got this amazing voice and it's trying to pursue it, but still doing this, that, and the other. What advice would you give them in terms of like personal branding, or do you feel like it don't really matter?
No, like for me, like I think authenticity wins always, right? So like if you are just, I feel like people like and listen to people who they can relate to. So like let's say like they make soulful music as an example, and then but their online like persona is going out every weekend, they're getting drunk, and it does not, the two ain't quite.
It don't match up. I
feel like if that's who they are, then there might be some people who are like, oh yeah, that's cool. But if it's coming across as fake, you know, and not authentic, then I feel like that does hindrance, you know. I'll give you an example here. Like when I first started out singing, I hated the fact that I had a soulful voice. I hated it, like, because I was just like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna think I'm sounding old. No one's gonna want to play my music because it's too old school. So that was a big complex for me. So then what I did, I had this era where I was just like, do you know what, F doing soul music, because no one's gonna be and call me a soul singer. I'm not a soul singer. Right? I was trying to I want to sound like Chris Brown. I want to be a pop, type of like Chris Brown type of sound and voice. You know, that high pitch, no low voices. And then so I started making like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make indie music. I'm gonna make this music. I'm gonna do everything that's not soul. And my auntie, shout out to my auntie Nicole, she kept saying to me, you're not being authentic to who you are. You're not being true. And that's why it's not resonating with people. No one's going to listen to your stuff because it's clear that you're doing something. You have a soul voice, but you're trying to sound like somebody who you're not. And then it took me, it's only like, I'll say in the last 4 or 5 years where I've accepted that, okay, do you know what, play into what you're good at. Because people will connect with you more. So right now, I'm basking in the fact that I'm a soul singer. I love it.
Like lean into your strength, innit? Like,
it's my strength. Like, you got to play for your strengths. And now the people who follow me, they listen to me because they want to hear that. And I'm offering that. And it's genuine to me now, you know? So,
and I think we've got a lot of, I mean, there's always room for new people to come through the door in all avenues, but there's a lot of pop singers and R&B singers, but your soulful voice at such a young age as well, it's quite uncommon, as far as I'm aware anyway.
I mean, me, but I'm not going to.
I mean,
I'm not going to take the shine from the guests. Like,
at the end.
No, it's cool.
You can do it now.
I mean, it's good. Like, No.
No, honestly, like, it's like I'm so happy, and honestly, like, to anybody who's watching this, like, if you think you sound too unique or you sound too different, that difference is what people are looking for. Like legit, like, and I used to always say, like, oh, I wish I was born back in the olden days. And then somebody, I can't remember who, I think it was even you or somebody, one of my friends was like, but if you were born in the olden days, you would sound like everyone else. Exactly. Whereas now, like, it's different, and people are looking for that nostalgic but modern or feel.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what my new project, my new mixtape.
Okay.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Look at that.
I was gonna go and see your old one first. We'll get there in a minute.
No, we can go there. It's a journey. It's a journey.
Yeah. So I know you're a singer songwriter, right? So you write your own songs and stuff like that. So what difficulty do you like hit sometimes? Because I know some creatives will hit a wall and like, I can't write.
There's a term for that in there, creators block or writer's block. Writer's block. Yeah.
No, sometimes like I'll be writing like lyrics and then I just like I want it to make sense.
Yeah.
And then I just can't find like how to finish the sentence.
Articulate it. Yeah.
So then what I do is like legit, like I could stop writing and just stand up in my room and just look outside the window. I remember I was writing a song called Higher. It might be my project. I'm not sure yet. And I was like, because it was about blessings and like how all your trials and tribulations in life, how all of those things prepare you to elevate you to a higher place, right? Depending on your outlook of things. And I was thinking, what rhymes like? I was thinking like, so I literally looked out my window and I just saw a dove or a bird flying past, and I was like a bird in the sky, and I was like, right, and I was like, so sometimes like you need to put yourself physically in different
locations.
Scenarios. Like, I remember when I went to Spain to record as well. Do you remember? Like, and that helped me like write some amazing songs. You know, so sometimes for writer's block, just take yourself out physically and just you know.
I get that because like when I used to drive a lot around London, I would just like write bars like.
I know you're a rapper.
No. No. Seriously, when I get bored, I would freestyle in the car, and then it's like, okay, I need to write this down. So I would put like the recorder next to my mouth and just write. And then I come home.
I can imagine. That's why he crashed the van.
Trust me, like I used to have a SoundCloud in that. Like, I used to diss people.
You got a sound as a leak.
No. I deleted that now because I don't want that out there.
What was your street name back in the day? I know you had a street name. Come on.
That's Tuas, man.
Is it Tuas? Yeah.
Tuas, man, like Tuas, bro. Tuas. Yeah, man. They know me as Tuas in the street.
No, but you know, it's funny too because sometimes, like I don't even. Sometimes I dream my music. I know a lot of artists have this experience too. So sometimes, like I'll be sleeping, and then like I'm legit creating music in my head, like full on songs. So I'll quickly wake up, like I've got so
write that down, journal,
or like I do a voice note, and like I've got a song called Cruise. And I remember,
I heard a little sneak peek.
Cruise is my song, right?
It's gonna be big.
It might be on there. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but so like I was sleeping, so I already made the instrumental. And I tried for days trying to think of like what song can I sing, because I've got a songbook of songs that I've written that have no beats. So I'm singing all these songs over this beat and nothing is fitting. So I literally go in the living room. I take a nap. I've got a friend called Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how the name come about?
I don't even know, like, because I was
subconsciously,
yeah. So I was thinking, so I was dreaming that I was in church because me and Cruz go to the same church, and I was like, okay. So in my dream, I dreamt that it was me, Cruz, and like some of our other friends, and then we were throwing Cruz a surprise party, and then before he came into the room, we all just started singing, "Let's go on a cruise."
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So literally, in my dream, I'm going cruise, 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 and I'm singing that, and I'm like, wait a sec. So I woke up here, and I was like, wait, let me try to sing this over this beat and see if it fits. Yeah. And it sounded so...
So you had a beat ready to go. Okay.
And it just, when I was tripping. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is sick. And then I just wrote the whole song from there. I think, like...
Yeah, that's great. Like, I think also, like, coming from a non-music background, like, that is something that I would, like, be curious about. So, like, the creative process. I know, like, you obviously have the beats. You lay out the beats, then obviously your vocals. Like, what is the process between that? Because I know that obviously people normally have already written their song and then you just find in the right beat, right?
Yeah, like, so, like, there's loads of ways around it. So, like, you can either just make a beat, like, and then just make a song on the spot, like, to that beat. Or you can actually make the beat. So let's say you've got a song in mind, but it doesn't have a beat, so you can make the beat
to the song.
Or you could just make a beat and then have another song you've written. Like, I've got a whole songbook of songs that I'm writing. I've been writing since I was like 16. So a lot of those songs that I've wrote at 16 is what I'm now singing over all these new beats. Like now it's crazy. Like, but then what I've done though is that like because like I was at a different time in life then, so I've had to change some of the words a bit, of the melodies. So there's different ways to like.
Yeah. So it's like preference, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just whatever fits, you know. You can dream about it, sing over the beat. You can, you know.
Because I remember when I did music at school, like they'd be like, play an instrument. I was like, what do you want me to play? And then obviously I learned the guitar, and then it was like triangle, and then we tried to make a track, and I was like,
I remember that.
No, trust me. Like they thought I wasn't good at anything, but I could play the drums and I can play the guitar, and then like it was like, okay, but then I don't really want to be. I was shy then. I was like, I don't really want to be. And they're like, sing, and I was like, I don't really want to sing, but sometimes like I think
You need that.
Yeah, you need that push sometimes. Like, even if you sound like shit, like you still move.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
I was in a choir actually, funny enough, back in school.
Let's change the subject.
Maybe I can sing, maybe I can sing back then, you know.
It's choir, you know.
I can still hit them high notes as well. But when it comes to writing, do you always base it on your own life experience, or do you? Because you know some writers just use their creative imagination and write about things that they want to bring into fruition, like speak about.
Do you know, it depends. So I've got some songs where I tell the story. I hate singers always say this cliche, oh, I tell stories through music, and I used to be that guy. That was on my bio for everything. But honestly, it is so true that, like, because a lot of times the story doesn't have to be your story, it could be somebody else's story, you know, but nonetheless it's still a story, and somebody can relate to it. That's the joy of music. Like, it's down to interpretation and how you also receive it too. So sometimes it could just be just a random, I'm just writing, you know, I could be talking about a blackbird or something, you know, and it doesn't have any meaning. It just fits for the song. But I think, like, for Honey Silky Smooth though, I can't lie, like a lot of those songs have been things that I've gone through in the last few years. It's very personal. So that's, I'm almost nervous to release it, because I'm like, I'm so close to your heart. I'm letting you guys into my life right now. Whereas with Masquerade, I think there was only one song in there that was like about a situation. Right. But a lot of it was just vibes and like just making good fun music.
Can you drop a name? What situation?
What, the song?
Yeah. What's going on in that song, man?
I'm
curious now.
No, I can't tell you the situation.
Right, okay.
It's down to intuition, but it's the song Secret, right?
Right.
And that is that song is like a good, like, for me, like,
Tobi O's got some secrets.
I was gonna say that sounds like that sounds like my love life, man. That sounds like my love life. But I think, like, because when I was growing up, I love poems, and I had a rhyme book. And I would use it to get girls. Like, I would write them a poem, and then if the girl, like, obviously rejected me, go to the next one, write another poem. And I remember,
right, you know, you use that same poem. Just change the name.
No, because it's different, because she looks different to what the other girl looks like. So I always go for the looks, because that was easy.
Okay.
And then I used to like write in rhymes, and then later on I would try and write songs, right? So the way I used to construct it was like refrain, hook, chorus, and then another hook. And I was like, obviously I would try and do it, and then I was like, oh, I'd love for this person to sing my song. I like if you ever because I know you write a lot of songs, like, any of your songs, do you think you'd want someone to like sing rather than you, if there was one?
I've got one song that I've had in the vault for ages, and I swear I want to give it to Lana Del Rey. It's called Ready For You. I made it around the time, you know, when James Bond when that soundtrack for that was
Adele,
I think it was around that time, and this song, Lana Del Rey needs to sing it. I don't even care. I've got a song that Frank Ocean needs to sing.
You should reach out. You never know. Some magic happens when you reach out.
One day, like the laws of nature.
Trust me. That's crazy, because I've got a friend that's actually coming on the show, and he spoke about when he was once in LA and ended up being in a booth with Justin Bieber and Frank Ocean. And one of the songs that Justin Bieber was singing, Frank Ocean was one of the writers, which was like mad, because it was like he was there for chance. He was with a band. He was in a group. And then, ended up being in that house. But it's crazy just how, like Jay said, if you don't reach out, or because he couldn't get into the house. And then he was knocking, and I was like, I just want to meet him. And then the producer comes in, and I was like, actually, no, you're fine. Come and meet him.
I think it's just that persistence and taking the risk, isn't it? Like, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Like, I can't lie, like, when it comes to pushing yourself onto other celebrities, it's not my style, you know.
No.
It depends on what level. There's levels. There's levels to it as well. Like, so with your first album, what was the like time frame in terms of like putting the thoughts into fruition and releasing it? Like, was it like a year period or what?
So with that, I had to release that before summer, because Masquerade, my EP,
2019, 18,
last year.
Okay,
is that
19?
Is that before you released the EP and we went there to
to my show?
To your show.
Before coronavirus.
Yeah, that's important.
Well before.
Nah, that show was, I had so much fun.
That was fun. Yeah, we was drinking a lot. So, we was drinking a lot.
It was cool, but like, no, so with that project, I started it like at the start of that year.
Yeah.
And my deadline was, it has to be before summer. Right. And what my hope was, I was hoping that like things will really kick off, like so I wanted to give myself enough time so that I can potentially play it out at festivals, but then I left it really late, so they had already booked all the acts for the festivals. So I was like, oh man. And then this year I'm thinking I'm going to do festivals this year, and then coronavirus hits. So next year
fingers crossed, 2021.
Let's see.
You know what, we got some reaches here, like Mind Festival, book our guy, because they were supposed to do a festival last year, and obviously coronavirus hit and they done that online thing. But hopefully soon enough they'll start a festival. But yeah, it's thought about mindfulness and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously it's a good cause. So
Okay,
yeah, man.
So, go on, sir.
I was just gonna say, stop stealing the spotlight. But, all right.
What do you think about like touring though? Like, do you feel like it's really beneficial these days?
I hate
Like,
no touring is
horrendous. Oh, is it getting emotional?
I've toured before. It's beneficial financially.
Yeah.
So to answer your question,
But also in terms of building a fan base, like, because some
Yeah.
people, like, you know, Russ, like one of my favorite.
I was
artists,
gonna say
he's-
Russ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's big on touring. Obviously, it's not for everyone, so you clearly don't like it.
honestly, touring it has like what Ross said. Like, it's beneficial. Like you build a fan base, you get your merch out physically. Like everything about it is amazing. But the stress, because I've been on tour before, so I was with this Amy Winehouse.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
We were doing O2s around like the UK and
that's
Ireland. Like,
sick.
it was sick.
I love
like,
Amy
honestly,
Winehouse.
it was amazing. Like we used to have like 200-300 people plus like almost every night.
Yeah.
It was really good. But right, just the stress of touring. Yeah. Like when Michael Jackson said, "Oh, he hates to tour." Yeah. And they tried to make him say he likes.
No, you can relate.
Yeah,
And,
I can relate.
And you,
Like-
you weren't even like setting it all up. You was just singing, innit?
I was
So-
doing backing vocals.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're doing it for yourself, you'd have to arrange the whole thing.
Yeah,
and, like, it's a lot more.
Well, the manager would probably arrange it, but but the stressful part is just the journeys. Because put it this way, like half the times I didn't know what city. Like whenever I would hear artists say, "Oh, I don't know what city I'm currently in," I'm like, "How do you not know?" But it's because let's say on Friday, like you go to O2 in Liverpool, right? You've done the show now. You literally stay in your hotel once the show is done for like, let's say till 7, 8 in the morning, and then you're on the road
to the next
place. So you've now left Liverpool. You haven't even had time to go around town, maybe like in the day, like during the day, just to get a drink. And then you go straight to Manchester, and then you're doing that literally for days on ends. Now imagine that that's locally. Imagine doing that internationally. You're flying, So you're now in America. You've done literally 3 dates there. You haven't had time to stop to relax, and then you're on the next plane to Africa, and then you're going to Asia. Like you're doing that back to back, and maybe you have like a day of rest, if that.
I mean, I understand what Toby's saying though, because like touring wouldn't be for everyone. You look at people that's like had health implications. You look at Avicii. Obviously, he passed away, but he was grinding on that tour. Like he was like, he'll be in Ibiza and then somewhere in Italy, and it was just like. I guess it's more like down to your health if you don't have like balance. Like if you tour every time and you're not taking care of your health, those are a lot of implications. Like, but for me, Diaries for Discussion on tour, like that sounds like a sick thing. Like,
you said that, remember that? It says that now. In a couple of years,
it's coming. It's coming, man.
But don't forget.
With that being said, like I said, guys and girls, stay tuned for the soon-to-release single, Breathe Underwater, you say?
Breathe Underwater.
Breathe Underwater. Album's coming soon.
Yes.
And we're going to give you a little snippet right now, guys.
Snippet.
Listen to this.
Exclusive. Ooh.
I mean, wait.
Wait for it.
Wait, that's a vibe, you know? That's a vibe.
Like we said, babies are going to be made to this tune right here.
They will be born.
Yes.
Kids will be conceived.
Look at that. Listen to that. Just one more.
Take it slow. Maybe we should rock the boat. Do you
Jesus.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's
You know you're going to like that tune.
That is fire.
Okay, drop it again.
That is fire.